Hello, good morning, everyone in the United States. Good afternoon in the UK. I'm Rob Price. I'm the CEO and founder of Gatekeeper Press. And we have also our co-owner, president of sales and business development, Tony Cellini.
Hey, everyone.
And we are just going to do a little informal talking about the success mindset for authors who are looking to work with a publishing assistant company, a self-publishing service provider, and what that looks like and how it can help you. And this is our first time using this software. So bear with us if we run into some technical issues. But if you've got questions, and I don't know how many people are here, but you can just include them on the chat and we will get to them. But we'll start with a little bit of a quick overview. And Tony, if you've got anything to add, you feel free.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, let me share my screen. We'll see if this works. And I'll pull up a few little pieces of information. Okay. So, Tony, are you able to see the screen right now? It's showing our author dashboard.
I am not currently.
Okay. View tab, StreamYard. Okay. Well, let me try one more thing. Stop screen, slide.
I think if that's sharing the screen doesn't work, Rob, you can just kind of go into.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll give it one more shot here. Entire screen. I think I'll get it this time. Here we go.
I'll let you know when we see it.
Okay. You see anything?
I do not.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just going to run through and talk a little bit about, and Tony, again, feel free to jump in.
Yep.
Basically, we put together a blog for this conference talking about the success mindset for authors.
I do see your screen now too, Rob.
Oh, great. Okay. Excellent. Yeah. So talking about the different things that are helpful for authors to give themselves the best success. And a shout out to Ally, to Orna, to the whole team over there. I was telling Orna this earlier today that Ally does such wonderful things in this community. I know definitively firsthand that your organization has helped save a lot of authors a lot of headaches working with companies that are not excellent and doing the right thing. So your self-publisher watchdog list is really helpful. It's doing great things in the world. You're saving a lot of people a lot of trouble. I've been wanting to tell you that for a while. But so in that vein, the success mindset when working to self-publish, you are going to essentially want to hire the best team possible and make sure you're getting all of everything that you should, 100% of your rights, retain 100% of your rights to your material, having 100% control over the process, and then earning out 100% of your royalties, which means the service provider not taking any portion. And that is what Gatekeeper Press does. And we really help authors to succeed in every way possible. And a little bit about us briefly here. I'll show you our author dashboard, and then we can jump in with any questions anybody has. But so allow me to click our little slideshow button here. Okay. By the way, if anyone has any questions and wants to reach out to us, you can email us at support@gatekeeperpress.com. We do free consultations as well. And that's where we really can help let you know how we would be able to help with your project or let you know what would be in the best interest of your project. And that's on our website. So who are we? We are authors. They get that 100% rights, royalties, and control. Our authors get worldwide distribution. You work one-on-one with a author manager, our company, who holds your hand through our process. We've worked with about 2,500, in fact, about 2,600 authors now. We've been in business for 8.5 years. And most of those authors are brand new to the world of publishing, and it can be overwhelming. It can be scary. And we take that right out of the equation. We take that anxiety out. You know you're going to get excellence. You're going to get the right thing. We do everything within industry standards and best practices. But most importantly, we are working at your direction and your pleasure. And so, and we're the only company in the world, as far as I'm aware, that has an author bill of rights, which lays out all the protections and everything that you get. And we do 100% satisfaction guarantee when we do our file creation services, things like cover design and formatting and layout. We work with authors all over the world. all types of authors, all genres, all categories. And we see it all, and it's what we do all day, every day. And we work with authors, we work with publishing companies, and we even do work with some companies where we're performing services behind the scenes for them. Who am I? I was a self-published author about 20 something years ago, before the landscape has changed so dramatically. I was a member of the Independent Book Publishers Association, IBPA, became the chairperson of the organization. And in 2015, created Gatekeeper Press. I was running a small traditional publishing company, but with the changing landscape of publishing, we decided to flip the business model. So provide our authors with all the services a traditional book publisher offers, but instead of the publisher keeping all of the rights and the proceeds and the control, in exchange for the author getting a small royalty, we decided to provide those services for fees at an a la carte basis. And then the author retains all of those benefits. And it has been very successful. We've worked with very happy authors. So we do cover designs. We can do illustrated covers. If you're a premium author, we do unlimited revisions, again, satisfaction guarantee. And like I said, I'm just going to run through this. We do 3 types of edits: developmental, copy edit, proofread. And for our publishing services, we do hardcover and paperback publishing. We include a whole lot of what we call premium perks. We work with you again until you're happy on the interior layout. We've got an entire process of how we do this, and we give you the physical proofs, free copies. We don't charge extra for graphics, and your book becomes available for sale virtually everywhere. Books, paperbacks are sold, paperbacks and hardcovers and ebooks are sold online all over the world. And we have an author dashboard, so I'll be showing where you can log in, track those sales across the different venues. Our authors receive their royalty payments every month, and we will take a quick look at that. So we do ebook. We can do all types of ebook layouts, reflowable, fixed layout, and even some enhanced options now. We're working on a read-along book right now for children's books. We're starting to get into some more enhanced options. We do beautiful illustrations. We've got excellent illustrators on our staff. We've got a total staff of about 60 people, including 15 author managers. The author managers are the most of them trained by me personally. Their job is the one to hold your hand through our process, to make sure we're answering every question, that here's what we're doing today, here's what we're doing tomorrow. It's a single point of contact to make sure that we are, again, making the process, an artistic process, as efficient and streamlined and hopefully sometimes fun, as it can be a lot of excitement going into publishing books. But so
hey,
we do.
Rob,
yeah.
Can I jump in? We have a question
Please.
here from one of the
I didn't see that.
attendees.
Okay.
So one of the questions is, do you consider the business model to be hybrid? If you can speak a little bit about that, because you did start, a traditional publishing company, originally. Now this is, we technically call ourselves a self-publisher, but kind of walk that through. I get that a lot from authors that question.
We do. It's a term that is misused. It is a term that is ambiguous. So I'll describe my belief on the spectrum, the publishing spectrum. On the one end, you've got traditional publishing, which is the way it's sort of always been done. And I'll get back to the page I was at, but the way it's always been done, where the publisher are these gatekeepers, and that's the origin of our company name, that these gatekeepers decide who the lucky few are that get published and the rest do not. And so we created our company to open those gates, to make a level playing field, to provide authors with the same opportunities, as good a quality, as good of or better than all of the traditional publishing companies. So on the one side, it's traditional, where you as an author, if you're fortunate enough to be one of those lucky few, you work with a publisher, you give them a lot of your rights, your control, your earnings in exchange for a small royalty. And ideally that publisher would work to, make your book a success and put its resources behind it. On the other end of that same spectrum is self-publishing. And that's where we are. We consider ourselves a self-publishing service provider, meaning our authors are essentially the publishers. You have all the control, you keep all the earnings, you have all of the rights, and we are there to facilitate this. So we do all the different services I was beginning to get into, as many of them as you like. We do it a la carte. We can do everything for you. Somewhere in the middle of that spectrum is what this term hybrid is from my perspective. And the idea would generally be that you are both paying a fee for some services, and then there's going to be a profit sharing going on. There are companies out there that call themselves hybrid when in actuality, they really are self-publishing service providers. There are some good hybrid publishing companies out there. My time at IBPA, we spent a lot of time talking about this. What is a hybrid publisher? What to look for? My general feelings is that if a company is calling itself a hybrid publisher, push them on, what is it that they're really going to do for you that justifies that they're going to also take some of the proceeds in control to make that decision if that's who you want to work with. But so traditional publishing on one side, self-publishing on the other, hybrid somewhere in the middle. So we consider ourselves a self-publishing service provider.
Yeah. And Rob, the next question was, do we assist authors with self-publishing, or is this more of a publishing house? And Sherry had that question. I think you kind of answered that in what you were just discussing. I mean, at the end of the day, and I can kind of take this a little bit as well. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, what we do is the work that the author needs to get the book published, but we put the author in control throughout the entire process. So we're going to do the editing where the author has the ability to review those revisions. They're in control of what changes are made. We're going to do the design to their exact specifications and have collaborative communication throughout the process to make sure that the author is getting a dream cover design, for example, and then, the interior design and layout of a book that they've always dreamed of having. So we put the author in control, but we're the ones doing the work on the services that make the book come together. And then, as Rob mentioned, the key is, at the end of the day, our authors, with a lot of self-publishers, but us in particular, our authors not only keep that control, but they also keep all ownership rights and royalties, which makes it completely different than how the traditional publishing model works.
Yeah.
And a lot of publishing houses work. So I always tell authors when they come into consultations with me to not get too caught up on what a publisher calls themselves, but look at the details of what the publisher is going to do for you, because the devil's always in the details. There's about 10 million places you can go to publish in this industry. And there are a lot of, unfortunately, bad actors out there taking advantage of authors. And that's one of the reasons why Rob got into this business, why I joined him as one of the owners, is we really want to help authors get published. We want to make sure they keep control, keep ownership, keep their royalties. And we put all that in writing in an author bill of rights. So that's where we kind of stand out to say, hey, look, we're on your side, author. We're going to protect you. We're not going to rip you off like a lot of these other publishers are. So we put the authors in control. We do the work for them, but it's all to their specifications and they have approval over everything. So.
Yeah. Well said, Tony. One thing that I'll add too, when I speak to authors who are considering working with us, that idea of control, that can mean a whole lot of things. We work with some people who have a very specific idea of what they want with their cover, with their layout, whatever it may be.
Yep. And
so what they want us to do is to follow their exact direction. We have others who may say, you know what you're doing. I want to give you the creative and professional, this broad latitude, discretion to do what you think is right. And that's their direction to us, is to use our own discretion. And it can be somewhere in between that. And so we were working, what I tell authors, we work within industry standards and best practices, but most importantly at their direction. And we try to keep it, within all three of those guardrails there. On that last slide, and forgive me for.
And Rob, can I jump in one more time? And to facilitate that process, because this can sound really daunting to a lot of authors, and we work with tons of new authors. And one of the reasons why we are, a premier place for new authors is the one-on-one attention we get. So, a lot of places that you potentially can work with, it's hard to get in touch with them. You're working with multiple people at the same time. You're having to recreate the wheel. Our business model is we want to take the pressure off of the author, make the self-publishing process as easy as possible. So that's why we team every author up with an author manager, which is going to pretty much coach them through the process from start to finish. But not only does it streamline the process by having that one efficient point of contact, but it also gives the author peace of mind that they're going to have somebody to reach as they have questions, because this, at the end of the day, is your baby, the author's baby at the end of the day. I mean, this is something that every author, especially at the beginning in their first book, this is something they've always dreamed of doing. They've maybe worked years, maybe decades on writing the book. So making sure that you have control over the process, and then that one person to guide you through and help you for the things that you don't know, I think is really crucial. And that's one of the things that we offer. That's that author manager aspect with us. So
absolutely. And for what's on my screen here. So we do all types of books, all genres. We separate out children's books because they're unique. So we do offer a separate children's book package, which comes with certain things. And you can take a look at that again on our website. If you take a look, you'll see everything that we're doing there. And so what I wanted to show everybody here is just a little behind the scenes of what we call our author dashboard, and everyone gets one here. And this is if we were logging in as one of our authors, and I'll make my screen just a touch bigger here so people can see. And so once you're logged in, you've got your sales overview page. You can track, and we just haven't yet updated we update this monthly. So I'll just move it back to September here. And this is just an example. So if this was a publishing company that was working with us, they can click on any one of their titles, or if you just have one book, you'd have your one title in there. And if it was in different formats, you would be able to see that here. And then it shows you what's being done in the year, all time, if there are sales returns, what retailers and places that the book might be selling. And there are different options you can click down here just to show. Now, this book doesn't have too many sales over its lifetime, but there are a lot of different ways you can present that information. We have a monthly sales report tab. This is where that overview you can download into spreadsheets, and it breaks everything down. We've, of course, and we work with international authors, and we're a U.S. company, but we've got everything integrated with a tax and banking system. You enter your information, and we release those payments to you monthly. When you receive those payments, they all get stored in here. You can order your books, what we call author copies, and we work with book manufacturers from all over the world, so we can drop ship anywhere. We don't have minimum quantity requirements. And so what you do is you click in, and then this is just one of our authors here who is the lucky demo person here. And so you come in and you can order your books to ship anywhere. And if it's outside of those countries, you just email us and we can ship them all over the world. Let's see what else we've got here. The way our process works, we have you fill out a new title questionnaire that gives us the information we need in order to get things started. I won't bore everyone with the specifics here, but then we also assist. One of the services that we offer that's included with our premium packages is what we call metadata optimization. It's a fancy way of saying that we have a librarian, a certified librarian on our staff in the state of Ohio in the United States, who reviews your information. We make recommendations to optimize things like your searchable keywords and your browsable categories, so that the book can be as discoverable as possible when it's available online. We make recommendations to optimize your author bio, your book synopsis, and even the retail pricing. Will perform a comparative analysis of comparable books. So we help along the way there.
Rob, I'm going to jump in with another
please,
question someone asked that I can have you answer particularly, please. So Sherry asked, do you have people who work with different genres, or are they all lumped together? So can you maybe speak to that? Because we do work across all genres of publishing. So kind of detailing how that works on the back end as far as making sure people are working with people that are experienced in certain genres, I think would be
absolutely insightful. Yes. And thank you for telling me these questions, because with the screen, I'm not seeing them come up.
So no worries.
So
I got you.
And I was just going to pull up something so you can people can see something as I'm stammering on here. But so we do, with our author managers, they're essentially a project manager and a customer support who's going to guide you through. They are all publishing professionals, and they work with every genre. We do try, based on availability, to match up our author managers with their interests. With an author, if they're doing a romance novel, for example, we'll put you working with an author manager who has a preference for that type of book. But more importantly, it's our editors. So when we're doing a developmental edit or copy edit, we do have a staff of about 12 editors who are highly vetted and who have gone through testing to be on our staff. And they have different specialties in different genres and different types of edits. And so it's a long-winded way of saying, yes, we do focus, we use a scalpel and not a sledgehammer when it comes to all of our projects. Are there any other questions that
I don't see any currently.
Okay. Any other topics, Tony, you think we should touch on?
No, I mean, I think you did a great job. I mean, just to kind of reiterate, what I always like to tell authors at the end of the day is, there are so many different places to go to self-publish. Just make sure that whoever you work with, whether it's us or someone else, really has your back and is looking after your best interest. And, a lot of times when you're in the self-publishing world, what does that mean? What does that come down to? You should be focused on things like, am I going to keep all of my royalties? Am I going to keep complete control over the process? Where's my book going to be listed for sale? Am I going to keep ownership over the book? Can I do what I want with it? Am I going to have one-on-one attention from start to finish? I mean, those are the things where a lot of publishers don't meet the bar or the standard that they should be meeting. And again, we put all of those pieces to protect the author in our author bill of rights. Another question came in, Rob. Do you put the book on Amazon for the author? Yes, we do. So I can answer that for you. But
Go ahead.
yeah, our distribution network is going to be it's the widest distribution network possible for print on demand and ebooks. It's going to be worldwide.
Yep.
Including Ingram, Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com. Ingram's an umbrella of thousands of worldwide retailers underneath it. The great thing with us too on distribution is once we get you set up for distribution, we don't charge any annual or monthly fees. There are no caps on sales. Everything is print on demand, meaning there's no warehousing or storage of the book that you have to worry about paying for out of your own pocket. So it's print on demand and it's worldwide distribution. Yep. Next question was, do you take any percentage of sales? We do not. All of our authors keep 100% of their royalties on sales.
Yep, correct. And to that end, we have direct relationships with a number of the retailers, and so our authors earn at least as much, but I believe more on some platforms for sure than anywhere else, because we are not taking any portion of their sales. We don't mark up print costs. We don't take any percentage of your sales. And part of what we're doing, so if again, the editorial services, design services, formatting services, but part of what you're getting as well is the distribution piece, where we make you don't have to set up individual accounts anywhere. You don't have to do anything. You are welcome to if you would like, because you own all of your rights. But part of what you are getting is that we make your book available. We publish it. It becomes available virtually everywhere. Paperbacks, ebooks, and hardcovers are sold online all over the world. We do also make the books available to brick and mortar market. It's a longer discussion that we do help you make a decision on. But so your book becomes available everywhere. You just log into your author dashboard where you can track all of that. And so we try to make it as much a one-stop location as you may need. But we don't require it. So our authors can come to us with their cover already designed or with their book already edited. On the editing side, we do like to say very strongly, and I know Ally says the same thing, that if you're not having the book professionally edited by us, you absolutely want to have it professionally edited by somebody. That is cardinal sin of self-publishing. You're working so hard, your book is so important to you. You don't want to give the reader the wrong impression when they actually read the book with errors. Same is true for the whole thing. For cover design, interior layout, people can tell when something is not looking so great. I apologize if there's some squeaking in the background. If you can hear that, I've got 2 little dogs, and I decided to leave my door open this morning. And one of them's chewing a toy.
Rob, we do have additional questions too on the side.
Okay. Oh, please. Yeah. Jump in, please.
Yeah. So one of them was, do you find illustrations for children's books, or could the author bring on their own illustrations with them?
Yep.
Either or. Yep. Go ahead, Rob. You can answer that.
Great question. Just what I was saying is that I would say about 50-50 of our authors will use our illustration services or come with their own. So no, we allow that. That is absolutely fine. Same thing with what I was just saying with cover designs or anything else. Whatever you need, we will provide. That could be everything. That could be some things. I was going to say something else, but I lost my train of thought. Was there anything else on that one, Tony?
Yeah. Questions about marketing. If we offer marketing services, you can speak to that for a minute if you like.
We do. We offer 3 marketing bundles. The information on them, and these bundles contain a range of services within them. So, for example, and really to look into these more directly, you'll want to take a look at our website, because there's a lot of information about each of the things we offer. But we're running an ad for the book in Publishers Weekly. We are getting the book reviewed by some prominent sources, and we promote the book to some various social media campaigns. We have ways to get you in front of podcasts, some PR elements. So we do a whole range of things that our authors have. We launched this just a few months ago, and there's been a lot of interest, and so we try to hit the whole range of different marketing things we can be doing.
Awesome.
Okay. I'm trying to think if there was something else I wanted to say generally. Well, we do, for anyone who has more questions, again, emailing us. We are very quick to respond. I remember what I was going to say. And we also do a free consultation. But the idea of whether we do illustrations or not, or a cover design or not, the idea behind our company that people very quickly pick up on is the idea of flexibility and author-centric. We are here to do a good job for you. That is our goal. We have no interest in working with someone who's unhappy. So we do everything we can for our authors to be happy. And that means being flexible. So we work with some authors who are very tech savvy. We work with some who are not at all. And we find a way to make it work, even if it means they have to physically mail us something, their manuscript, and we figure out a way to make it work. And so the best advice I could give to anyone who is considering to work with us or any other company in this space is, of course, do your homework, do your research. In our case, they're better than I could ever do or Tony could ever do, and Tony's great at his job, is take a look at the testimonials on our page. Take a look at the Google reviews that we have accumulated, because they are written by authors who say the most wonderful things. But you'll see the theme throughout them is that we're working to make you happy and flexible, and that we insist on author satisfaction.
A couple other questions came in, Rob.
Okay.
Speak a little bit to how successful our authors have been.
So we have seen the whole range. So again, we've worked with about 2,500, 2,600 authors, and I describe it as a bell curve. We have some authors on one end who are smashing successes, and they generate tens of thousands of dollars every month in sales. And then we have some people who don't make many sales at all. And then everyone else, most of the people are somewhere in between. And it's a tough question to answer, how to expect how I'll do. I know Ally came out with something, I think it was in April, that gave medians of what self-published authors generally will make. I think that number, I think it might've been $11,000 or something, which had gone up. But it's really hard to say because it depends on so many things. Is the book itself good? Are people who need to know that it exists? Is the target market available, that it's out there? And so our authors, we work with a lot of multi-book authors and repeat authors, which suggests that they're doing well enough that they're reinvesting money to another product. But it is one where what we will do for you is we will give your book the absolute best chance at success. It will look professional. It will be marketable. It will be available everywhere. It will have all this mindset for success. It will have everything that you would want your book to have. And then, the book needs to be good. If it's nonfiction, it needs to be unique. What's the angle? And then people need to know that it's exists and is available. So that's the best. I wish I could have a really great answer that says you're going to do this much. Our authors have collectively earned since 2017. And we launched in 2015, but our dashboard that I was showing, we created that about 2017, maybe the end of 2016, have earned about $2.7 million in sales. But again, you can't just take that number and divide by the number of authors, because some of our 2,500 authors are still going through our process. Some were just published last month. Some have been out for 7 years. But I would look to Ally's report that they did, where to get a better idea of what some expectations could be for success.
Great.
Okay. All right. Well, should we end it there, Tony?
I think we can. If we have any other questions, I don't see anything else in the chat. I think Orna did ask if anybody can purchase our marketing services, if you can do marketing only. The answer is yes to both of those questions.
Yep.
Anybody can purchase our marketing services, and yes, you can purchase only marketing if you didn't publish with us. That's
yep.
fine
And we
as
have
well.
done that. That's right. Excellent. Okay. Well, thank you, Tony, for helping. Sorry, I hijacked the whole talk, but
no worries.
and thank you, Ally, for giving us the opportunity, and keep up the great work that what you're doing there. And hope people enjoyed this. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Definitely reach out if you have other questions.